I was trying to think about how to get some subscribers, so I thought, how better than to give people some quick, useful information. Here I'm using a very highly densely pigmented paint. It's golden fluid in this case. I'm using a Liquitex matte fluid medium. Liquitex makes a matte medium and a matte fluid medium. Fluid medium, of course, is gonna just make it a little more flowing, a little less viscous. Mix that well. End up adding some more here in a second. You can see that I actually intentionally dumped some out on the canvas just to kind of reiterate how cheap and inexpensive the Liquitex matte fluid medium is. That's 250 milliliters for $7.49. I mix that in, and then to get it to flow a little bit better, because it's still very thick and very opaque, we're going to use a little bit of flow medium. This is another very inexpensive product I got from Master's Touch. Sold at Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure where else it's sold. It might be Hobby Lobby's brand, but anyway, there's fluid medium. That's going to get it very flowing. And then I add the secret ingredient, I think, to a lot of these quote-unquote contrast paints, or quote-unquote speed paints, or basically transparent paints that flow really well. Is a transparent white. So I'm showing here the color differences, the transparency opacity differences between zinc white and titanium white. But I don't use zinc white in this. I actually use a transparent mixing white from Liquitex, which I find just works really well. Doesn't really change the color. It's not very thick. So I mix that with it and give it a good stir. There you can see me off camera mixing it a little bit. I was afraid I might have added too much, but I ended up adding pretty much all of that was on there, which I really didn't measure these out, but I would say it's a dollop, you know, the end of a brush. I think I was using a 6 brush or something, or maybe 8. Then mix that in. And here you can see me using it, and it flows and works just like any good contrast paint. I think the highly pigmented golden fluid medium is important. I think any kind of highly pigmented paint would work, you know. The only thing I think you need to pay attention to is whether you want to use matte medium. You might want to try to go for a satin medium on some very matte or flat looking paints. It's not really showing up that great though on this wizard, so I grab another random miniature, and because I just want to make sure I can display how it really just flows, just like that type of paint, and it just flows so beautifully right into the crevices. The highlights stay high. You can take that brush and soak up the areas just like any other, you know, wash or contrast. But this is I would say the closest I've ever made to any type of contrast paint, and I can seem to make it in just about any color. So and here you can see me wicking up some paint with a brush that I had grabbed that wasn't really ready for that, but you see it still works. And a better example here, as I turn it over, you can see where I wick it up. And then I'll just display the ingredients one more time. And again, it's either the zinc white or the mixing white. I wouldn't use both. You're going to lighten it up too much. I hope this provided you guys some value. Hit the like, smash the subscribe, honk the horn, beep the button, whatever.